Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm Clarissa Rodriguez, Chair of the New York State Workers' Compensation Board. Today's full board meeting is being webcast live for members of the public. Welcome, everyone. And it is also being facilitated by American Sign Language interpreters. Thank you, ASL interpreters, for being here. I now have the honor of calling the 1039th meeting of the full board to order. Madam Secretary, will you please call attendance?
Vice Chair Foster,
Here.
Board Member Higgins,
Here.
Board Member Logan,
Here.
Board Member Hull,
Here.
Board Member Crane,
Here.
Board Member Tavares,
Here.
Board Member Caginelli,
Here.
Board Member Delan,
Here.
Board Member Delgado,
Here.
and Board Member Perez.
Here.
Madam Chair, Board Members Logan and Hull will be joining us remotely, and Board Members Stasko and Williams have asked to be excused.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. Board members, may I please have a motion to approve the absences of board members Stasko and Williams?
Motion to approve the absences of board members, Stasko and Williams.
Second.
Thank you.
Board Member
Thank you.
Delan.
Thank you for that second, Board Member Delan. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing no opposition, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, hearing no opposition, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you. Agenda item 1, approval of the December 17th, 2024 full board meeting minutes. Board members, you've all received a copy of the meeting minutes for your review. Are there any questions or need for a discussion? Hearing none, may I please have a motion to approve the board meeting minutes?
Madam Chair, this is Board Member Caginelli, and I move that we approve the December 17, 2024 board meeting minutes.
Thank you, Board Member Caginelli. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Crane, for that second. Is there opposition to the motion? Seeing no opposition, board members all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Again, all opposed? Hearing no opposition, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 2, Office of General Counsel's Departmental Report. General Counsel Heather McMaster will now present the Office of General Counsel's Departmental Report for December 2024.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board. In the month of December 2024, in the Office of General Counsel, the Adjudication Division held 17,658 hearings, 11,938 cases were resolved at hearing, and 268 reserved decisions were issued. The Adjudication Division also finalized 2,035 waiver agreements. In the Administrative Review Division, 1,136 applications were received, 892 were processed, and there are currently 8,164 applications pending. In the Legal Affairs Division, 118 full board review applications were received, 71 were processed, and there are currently 240 applications pending. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Board members, are there any questions or need for discussion? Okay, hearing none, may I please have a motion to accept the Office of General Counsel's Departmental Report?
So move.
Thank you. Board Member Delan, is there a second?
Tavares, second.
Thank you, Board Member Tavares. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing no opposition, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All opposed? Thank you. All opposed? Okay, hearing no opposition, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Agenda item 3, license applications. Associate Attorney Heather Justice will now present the licensing applications for the month of December.
Thank you, Madam Chair,
morning.
Madam Vice Chair, board members and colleagues. You have before you the recommendations from the assigned board panel regarding the licensing applications listed in Part 3 of today's agenda. Section 24A, Stuart Goldstein, 3 years, renewal. Section 53B, Right Risk Management, LLC, QO Douglas Hayden, 3-year renewal. Section 53D, ComTom Inc., QO Mark Summers, 3-year renewal. Soundview Claim Solutions, QO Ronald Balter, 1 year. I present these recommendations to the board for your consideration.
Thank you, Heather. Board members, are there any questions or need for discussion? Okay. May I please have a motion to accept the recommendations of the panels as presented?
Board member, Madam Chair, this is Board Member Caginelli, and I make that motion that we approve the licensing applications.
Thank you. Board Member Caginelli, is there a second?
Board Member Delgado, I second.
Thank you for that second. Board Member Delgado, is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing none. Board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. All opposed? Hearing none, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you. Agenda item 4, legal appeals. Heather McMaster will now present the recommendations concerning the decisions by the appellate division.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With respect to items 4A through 4D, it is the recommendation of the Office of General Counsel that the decisions of the Appellate Division, 3rd Department be adopted as the decisions of the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Board members, may I please have a motion to accept the recommendations of the Office of General Counsel?
Board Member Crane, move to adopt the recommendations of the General Counsel.
Thank you, Board Member Crane. May I please have a second?
Board Member Tavares, I second.
Thank you, Board Member Tavares. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, board members, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 5, mandatory full board review. We have case 5A, Visiting Nurse Service of New York, Inc. Case number G3170907. Is there a motion with respect to 5A on the agenda?
Yes, Madam Chair. Good morning. This is Board Member Lauren Loban, and I recommend the dissenting decision as modified be the decision for the board.
Thank you, Board Member Loban. Is there a second to the motion?
Board Member Tavares, I second.
Thank you, Board Member Tavares. Are there any recusals from this motion? Okay, hearing no recusals, is there any opposition to the motion? All right, hearing no opposition, board members all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 6, discretionary full board review. I now turn this portion of the agenda over to Vice Chair Frida Foster. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. For the case listed in item 6 of your agenda, it's been recommended that full board review be granted. That case is the matter of Joy Construction Corporation. I move to refer that case back to the respective panel for further consideration.
Thank you, Vice Chair Foster. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Crane. Are there any recusals from this matter? Okay. Hearing none, is there any opposition to the motion? Again, hearing no opposition, board members all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. All opposed? Again, hearing none. I am also a yes, that motion is passed. Thank you, board members. Agenda item 7, is there any other business? Okay, hearing none, we will get to our guest speaker, Missy Stewart. Now, Missy Stewart is the Director of Public Information at the Workers' Compensation Board. As the head of the communications team, Missy works to promote the board's efforts to protect the rights of New York State workers and employers and raise awareness of the critical benefit programs administered by the board. Missy is here today to present some of the great work that she's been doing, being done by the public information team, and also that she's been doing. Thank you, Missy, for being here.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, board members, and colleagues. I'm happy to be here today to share an update on the Public Information Office. The Public Information Office, or PIO for short, oversees board training and communications for both internal staff as well as external stakeholders. Those external stakeholders include both workers' comp system participants who play a role in providing and administering critical benefits, as well as members of the general public who use them. This includes tens of thousands of injured workers and surviving family members, over 500,000 employers, more than 20,000 healthcare providers, and other system participants such as insurance carriers, third-party administrators, attorneys, and more, all of whom rely on the board for critical education and information on board-administered benefits and related processes, regulations, and more. The PIO works closely with all board units and is involved in almost every major project. We ensure the board communicates to our stakeholders effectively, which means accurately, timely, and consistently, and that we look good while doing it. One more. Next slide. The PIO includes change management led by Pam Barnhart, which oversees outreach and training for board staff and our external stakeholders. Within change management, there are 2 units: staff development led by Darren Anderson, which oversees mandated training from the Office of Employee Relations, or OER, and the board, and develops additional training and support aids to assist board employees with job functions and core skills. Stakeholder engagement led by JP Munyon, responsible for training and communicating with our external stakeholders. This team develops outward-facing board brochures, fact sheets, and other materials, creates and delivers presentations, hosts webinars and other events, helps create videos for social media, and manages our GovDelivery email subscription service, which blasts updates to board subscribers and targeted stakeholder groups. Within this group is our small but talented graphics design unit led by our newly promoted colleague, Ben O'Brien, who is responsible for the look and feel of board communications. Andrea Sear oversees the board's PR and regulatory comms unit, which manages press releases, press inquiries, and monitors the media for mentions of the board and the New York State Workers' Comp system. They manage the board's social media channels, along with many of our internal communications, such as editorial for our intranet, The Hub, and our monthly newsletter across the board. Andrea's team also reviews, proofreads, and edits materials from PIO and other units, and manages the subject number process, which is the board's mechanism for announcing things such as emergency regulations and proposed or adopted amendments to the workers' comp law. Next slide. So as you can see on the screen, our team supports a wide range of board programs and initiatives, from onboard to managing content for our websites, delivering a steady stream of educational webinars, hosting conferences, drafting organizational updates, and supporting our executive team. So let's look at some highlights from 2024. I'd like to start with one of our biggest projects and successes, the 2024 New York State Workers' Comp Board Conference. This sold-out event held in Albany drew approximately 250 workers' comp board stakeholders for a full day of learning and engagement around all things workers' compensation. All of PIO was involved at some level, with Pam Barnhart serving as the overall project lead. In addition to cohesive branding that included a dedicated website, conference invite and materials, PowerPoint template, and more, the PIO worked closely with the chair and executive director, the finance team, medical director's office, office of general counsel, internal and external presenters to make the event seamless and worthwhile for all who attended. Here's a brief recap video of the day where you should see lots of familiar faces.
Our board consists of 1 chair, 1 vice chair, and 11 other dedicated professionals, all appointed by the governor.
I'm really pleased to be here today to share with you some of WCRI's latest research on the New York workers' compensation system and some workers' compensation trends in general.
In 2023, we fielded more than 500,000 phone calls regarding workers' comp and short-term disability from the public. Additionally, the Paid Family Leave Helpline handled over 77,000 calls.
Our dream is for the Triangle Memorial to inspire whoever visits it to join that fight and to stay with that fight until we build the kind of work that we want and we deserve. So please visit, please join us in that fight.
The board continues to improve and remains committed to improving the New York State workers' compensation system.
So a little shout out to Craig Smith, who is in the room, who actually put together that video.
Very nice, very nice.
Kind of doing it late hours, and we came in and we were surprised that he had finished it so quickly, so great. Other key PIO projects in 2024 include support for the board's reopening to the public by appointment. Our work included communications to both staff and stakeholders, on-site signage and materials, and website and hearing notice updates. Next slide. New branding. Our graphics design team rolled out new branding for all board presentations in line with updated guidelines from the New York State branding group, which we used for the conference and onward. New materials. Next slide. We produced a lot of new materials. A few examples include the annual report, which we're working on the 2024 now, a new Get Notified card that has one side in English and one in Spanish, updated PFL materials, signage for the Pride Parade, and one-pagers promoting various speaking events. Next slide. Over in PR and regulatory comms, the team worked on 60 subject numbers related to healthcare provider authorization, 16 subject numbers on other topics, including the RFA 1LC form that's now an E-form, physical therapy assistance and occupational therapy assistance being able to treat injured workers, and the 2025 employer assessment rate, among others. We issued 8 workers' compensation board releases, and I meant to check this, but I'm quite sure that's a record for the board. I don't think we've ever done so many releases. And there were 4 governor releases mentioning the board, and we played a large role in drafting those. The next slide. The governor's recent press release on the increases to PFL benefits, the new workers' comp minimum weekly benefit, and the reduction in the employer assessment resulted in more than a dozen significant media hits, including Newsday and numerous local newspaper and TV stations. Next slide. We launched a new efficiency enhancement bulletin, which was a brainchild of Executive Director Stephen Scotti, to share tips and best practices with board stakeholders. We distributed 5 issues in 2024 on a range of topics, from best practices on completing and submitting board forms, to reminders of payment timelines, to PAR tips, and more. So these were very well received, and it was like feedback that we had been getting on problems that we were seeing a lot. So we're getting the word out and making corrections and helping people make corrections. We continue to grow and enhance our popular webinar program, working closely with the advocates and other colleagues. Our Workers' Comp 101 and 202, which Joe Cavalcante delivers, reached nearly 2,000 live attendees and many more with a recorded version. Our advocate for business, Anthony Tomaselli, delivered Protecting Yourself and Your Team, Coverage Essentials for Businesses, to more than 800 live attendees, and again, many more online. And we also continued our popular Paid Family Leave series for employers and employees, and held a special webinar on worker safety for Safe and Sound Week. And that was a collaboration with the unions. In 2024, we published more than 1,200 social media posts across our board's social media channels. We also introduced reels and highlights on our Instagram, giving visitors to our account a quick way to learn about workers' comp, PFL, and disability benefits. The content on the board's website is also under our purview, And in 2024, we work closely with subject matter experts and the web support team within our Chief Innovation Office to develop and promote new content. Next slide. This includes a new medical billing disputes page, giving providers and payers detailed guidance on the arbitration process, as well as new provider and payer toolkits, payers that offer a roundup of need-to-know information and tools for each audience. We regularly partner with other units. As an example, next slide. Over the past year, we've been working closely with the Integrated Support Services team to get the word out about the board's vocational rehabilitation and social worker support offerings, developing fact sheets, short promotional videos, and finding opportunities to make a plug for these life-changing services. Shout out to Allie Price, who is sitting here in the room, who played a huge role in that effort. We refined and relaunched our onboard section of the hub, giving staff a destination to go for all things onboard. Next slide. And on the internal training side, our staff development team worked closely with Chief Diversity Officer Dapo Oraderu to develop our own diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, and accessibility training, which is now being rolled out statewide or board-wide. The team also made sure all of the OER statewide learning mandates were successfully rolled out and completed by board staff, and we're very proud to be in 100% in compliance. The team developed and began training staff on various Microsoft applications, played a key role in the conference that I mentioned earlier, and developed numerous support aids, including a new locating resources page on the hub to help people find procedures and other unit resources. On the internal comms and employee engagement side, we put out a new issue of Across the Board each month. We assist with the monthly Claims Connection newsletter. We ensure regular rotation of new content on the hub, and we continued Clarissa's popular series, Conversations with Clarissa, and here she is with her most recent guest, Sharon Chance. We got employees involved with various drives. Last year, the board collected 700 pounds of food and toiletries statewide as part of the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Food Drive, and 425 books for the related Children's Literacy Drive. In September, we organized a back-to-school drive focusing on keeping teachers and school staff safe, collecting hand sanitizer, wipes, and tissues, which our chair and vice chair personally delivered to a school right here in Schenectady. To help build community within the board, we launched a book club, collaborated with the DEI unit on their Lunch and Learn events, and brought employees together to raise awareness for important causes like breast cancer awareness, domestic violence prevention, and suicide prevention. Now, moving into 2025, as the chair and so many others know, the PIO is always open to ideas and suggestions and requests. So if you'd like to reach us, we have a few emails to do so. Write to betterboard@wcb.ny.gov with any ideas and suggestions. For event or education requests, outreach at wcb.ny.gov. Any internal requests, training requests, or support aids, staff development at wcb.ny.gov. And any press inquiries should go to publicinfo@wcb.ny.gov. So, and if finally, if you are not already following the board on social media, I encourage you to do so. Our handles for X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube are on the screen. This is a great way to get quick tips, see what the board is up to, and learn about upcoming webinars and other trainings. You can also subscribe to receive board notifications by email by hitting the Get Notifications button on the bottom of the wcb.ny.gov homepage. Thank you very much for having me today, and I hope everyone has a great 2025.
Thank you. Thank you for you and the team for all that you do. That's remarkable. And I work very closely with you, and I was impressed. Thank you. All right, board members, may I please have a motion to adjourn today's meeting?
Board Member Delgado, I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I will second.
Board Member Hull, I second.
Okay, well, we have 2
Got
seconds.
two.
Thank you, Board Member Hull. Board members, any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing no opposition, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I am also a yes. That motion is passed. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.